Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to H&W Welders on the Impossible Dream. And today it's a summer transfer special as we move from Season 12 into Season 13. Hopefully not unlucky for us. And a bid to try and win the Champions League with this club. Now if we have a quick look at the squad as the game sees it, you can see weaknesses. Look at, we've got the weaknesses down to almost non-scrollable. The better depth in goal. I mean, we have a number one, so I'm okay with our goalkeeping options. Better depth at centre back. I mean, it's all depth, isn't it? Really. Roy Hill at right back is a useful option which can be improved upon. I do agree with that, and that is one of the positions I'll be looking to upgrade this summer. I think we could do with we need a European striker. I think Picasso was good but wasn't great. And McDade, we know, is not really European quality, although he is absolutely class in the league. And Turpey is still a youngster that's learning. So I think that's something we need to look to do. But I think our biggest concern this summer, if we go and have a look at the squad, it's players that are wanted elsewhere. Zanetti is wanted by Leeds, Manchester United, Hamilton, who is a European side that we should be able to see them off. Martin Brady is wanted by Hibs. Now we know that they're a Champions League side. If they come in with a big enough bid for Martin Brady, I might just be tempted because he's good, but he probably does have a price. Chambers, wanted by Aberdeen. Again, this is somebody that I would sell if we got a decent price for him. Armstrong, this is the concern. Manchester City and Brescia that want him. So we're going to need... Well, I'm not sure if we can see off any interest from Manchester City, but we'll try and do our best. And Napoleon also is wanted by Aberdeen. Again, I think we should be able to see off that interest on him. And he's not, again, another one of these guys that isn't necessarily European quality for us, but he is dynamite. Get it? In the league. So that is what we stand. That's what we'd like to do. A reminder, we have just over 11 million to spend. We have about 90 grand on the wage bill that we can add to that as well. And it's going to be an interesting summer, this one. Now, one thing we should do before we get too far is just have a quick reminder of the players that we already know are signing once the window opens. So Martin Burian is signing, we're signing him out of his contract from a Czech club, 52 grand he is costing us. So he's a young prospect, not really one for the first team. Joe Kidd, who we had on loan this past season, he is joining us permanently on a free transfer. Also joining us permanently from a loan is Nathan Lewis, so that is good. We have, of course, Resnashek, who is joining us. Again, we're signing him out of his contract, £59,000 he is costing us. He will be replacing Munier, whose club does not want to loan him back to us. And Boubacar Barji, we're going to try and retrain him as a right winger. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but he's not costing us anything in a fee, so we'll just kind of see what happens. So we already know that's happening. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so we have some awards to run through here for the league. A record low number of defeats for us. Well done. A record high number of points. Go on, boys. McDade finally broke the goal-scoring record. We know that he was previously joint holder of it, but he's got it all on his own now. The player of the year in the league, unsurprisingly, really. We've got another one of our players was there, but McDade, it had to be, didn't it? So well done to you, Mr. McDade. Top goal scorer, obviously, was also Aaron McDade, 44 in 34. That is not a bad rate, is it? Tommy Martin was the young player of the year, ahead of a clean sweep with Uprichard and Zanetti completing the honours there. So well done, Tommy Martin. I was the manager of the year, so well done to me. And McDade gets a top goal scoring bonus. What are we paying him for that? 115 grand. That's absolutely fine. And that's how the league looks at the end. If you want to have a look at I don't care about that. The league thing. So Dungannon, that is to get into Europe. What are we looking at here? Let's do it this way. So Dungannon does get into Europe. Bainbridge Town have been relegated. Ballymena looks like they're going to stay up. And the team coming up to join us next season to enjoy the festivities is... Ballymena Millard. Why did it have to be you? Hey, Fulham. It's Aussie Villain. Oh, thank you. Yeah. But listen, the reason I'm calling is... look, I know you said you wanted Martin Mackay back in your side for next season, but I'm really hoping I can change your mind here. Oh, come on. Pretty please. Oh, wow. Thank you, Fulham. That's very nice of you. So there we go. Martin McKay is back for another year. I just despite the fact they said that they wanted him back for their team, I just made a bid anyway, and they accepted it. So we have Martin McKay back for another season. So that's him and Dylan Lake running down that left-hand side for us. And, well, it gives us another year to try and figure out a way to sign him permanently. And we just need to have a higher reputation. That's what he's after for us to have. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on that front down the line. But we've got him back for another year, and that is absolutely huge. All right, we've hit May 31st, which for us means our contracts have expired. So we have released some players. The main ones, Steve L. Emin, we didn't renew his contract. He was a bit of a fringe player, so there was no point. Sean Simpson, Mr. X-Ray Vision, long may he reign. He has left us as well. He was brilliant in the early days, wasn't he, old Sean Simpson? We just moved past him. Between Napoleon and Armstrong, we didn't need him anymore. But for a number of years here, particularly look at that, he's prime there. He was just a wonderful, wonderful number 10 for us. But Sean Simpson has left the club. Also leaving, the name you recognise is Curtis Coyle. He was a good centre-back for us, but again, we've just moved past him, so he'll get another club in Northern Ireland at least. And then a couple of youngsters that I don't think we ever saw in the first team. They have also left as well. So those are the players we've released. We probably need to wait until June. Is it June 31st? Yeah, when all the sort of rest of Europe's contracts expires before we can look to pick up free transfers. But yeah. Oh, one other thing I should probably point out: we've got a new assistant manager. One Theo Walcott. He's been with the club for a little while as a coach. But we needed the assistant manager's contract was up, and I thought, let's go for it. He's pretty good. So Theo Walcott is our new assistant. Okay, so the transfer window has opened for us, which means two of our signings have arrived. So Boubacar Barji is here. He's valued at £500, so we're paying him more than he's worth, quite literally. But anyway, he's here, so we'll see what happens. A B-, he's just one for the future, as I said before. But the big one is Daniel Reznicek. He is hopefully going to be the little maestro in our midfield. Good physical player as well. He's worth £135,000 already, and again he is rated as a B signing. And there's been some outs as well. Hodel is leaving us. He is off to Crawley Town for £110,000. We've got a good young prospect as a right winger in the youth teams, so I don't want anybody to get in his way, so he's gone out. And the other one that's left is Triggy. Just not quite what he was worth, but 825 grand. He's going off to Augsburg in Germany. As I said, I think I said anyway, was it last episode or earlier this episode? He's not good enough defensively to be a defender, and he's not good enough attacking wise to be an attacker. So he's just kind of a nothing. So we've moved him on as well. So Aaron McDade has only gone and done it again. Europe's top goal scorer, another golden shoe. That is now 3 in a row, beating out Mbappe and Esposito. And if you look at players who have done it 3 times in a row, Lionel Messi is the only one, I think, if we keep going down. Nobody else in the history of European football, we've got Ali McCoist there, 2 in a row, but nobody else, I believe, in the history of European football, other than Messi, has done 3 in a row. All the way down. You know, oh, here we go. Josef Biscan has done it in the 40s. That was 4 times in a row. So could McDade, well, he'd go all by himself ahead of, we've got another one there. But, I mean, we're getting back to the dark old days now, aren't we? So let's pretend that we didn't go all the way down there. But he's a Messi. McDade is literally as good as Messi. All right, a quick update of the European coefficients. Our league, the Danske Bank Premiership, has moved up 3 to 23rd in the competitions rankings. We have moved up 8 places to 32nd in the coefficient rankings. Now, if we have a quick look at that 32nd, look at that, almost ahead of Porto. We only have 2.5 points to defend this season. It was one of our last not great seasons in Europe. So we are in a position, if we can do something like we did last season, we'll gain 16 points or so. That'll take us up to, 64. So we'd be looking at going up with Napoli, AC Milan. Like, that could be absolutely huge, obviously. And if we go back here, homegrown players, I know this is something that you guys ask about. So it's a good opportunity to show you there how and when everybody is looking for homegrown status. So Zayanetti isn't too far away. If we could just keep him to the end of this summer, he will be a club-trained player when Europe starts at the end of this month. So that would be huge for us. But you can see there, they were getting down towards youth players at that point down there. But anyway, so that's how things look there. And we did, as we expected, drop down to 10th as a league in the coefficient, but we do still have the automatic group stage place. So that's the main thing, isn't it? That guaranteed money if we can win the league to get into that Champions League group stage. Okay, we have our first signing of the summer that is actually a transfer rather than just poaching people off of the end of their contracts. It is a 18-year-old young promising centre-back, Tim Vogler. We've paid £650,000 for him. You can see he's a B signing, very, very high potential. We're going to be paying him just under $7,000 a week as a breakthrough prospect. It's a little bit more than what I would have liked, but what he wanted to do otherwise in the bonuses and clauses here was after, say, 20 games, I think it was, or 30 games, to be on sort of $15,000 a week. So I figured we'll pay a little bit more for him now, and not have to worry about that going up and increasing with time. Let's have a look at what we've signed here. Now, what I do like about him, for an 18-year-old, he's got the basic defensive stats down. He's not too bad physically. Aggression, bravery, and decision-making is good. The issue is obviously determination isn't great, and composure, and, well, passing, but I'm not that fussed if my defenders can or can't pass. We'll just adapt their game accordingly. But yeah, I think he could be quite good for us, and at under $1 million, an 18-year-old German defender, chances are if they live anywhere up to near that potential, we're going to be able to sell him on at a profit. So we've got him from RB Leipzig. He hasn't played in their first team before. He'll be in and around our first team. He won't be first choice, I wouldn't have thought, particularly at the start of the season. But certainly in league games, he's somebody I think that can come in and play well. And like I say, we want to develop as the club moves forward in the future. So I'm cautiously optimistic he's going to be a success for us. And yeah, that's the first one done for the summer. And we still have a lot of money to burn. And I put a lot of money into the scouting budget. We're scouting worldwide now, not just Europe. So that's where some of the money's gone as well. But we're absolutely flying. All right, a little bit of shameless bragging here, but look at this in the leaderboards as we go from one season to the next. That last season, 20th amongst all FM21 Northern Ireland seasons. So congratulations to everybody above me here, but and on the top page, go on. All right, we have another signing. This is one that the director of football is responsible for, not me, but I've allowed it to go through because I think it could be a good little pickup for us. Kieran Lutit, I guess we would pronounce that. A C-plus rated signing, and to be honest, that's probably all he is. If we go and have a quick look and see, we're paying $2,600 a week of his wages. We've got him on loan from Aberdeen, and what I like about him is just the mental. He's just really, really good. I think as a defensively minded, whether it be a midfielder or a holder here, I don't think we'll ever use him as a centre-back. But it's the mental stats is basically the reason I've signed him. Decent tackler, marking, passing. I think he's just somebody that could do a job for us. Yeah, and the wages are something that we can afford. So you can see he's been playing in the Scottish Premiership, and he's been okay, 6'8", 6'9". So yeah, I think he'll do okay. I think he's a good little pickup. Well, Simpson's off. This has been a nice little squad clear out this summer. If I can just get a decent fee for Chambers now. Hello? The Home Office, what do you want? Gill's work permit's been rejected again. I need him to play up front for me next season. It's almost like you don't care about my football team. Alright, so some news. Fred Simpson has gone off to join Hamilton. £1.1 million, a defender, of course. I would have liked to have got a little bit more for him, but he wasn't really doing it for us when we need him to. I mean, yes, his averages in the league are good, but to be honest, we have a number of players that could play like that in the league. So we signed him on a free. We sold him for 1.1. That's not a bad turnaround, so good luck to him up there in Hamilton. And the bad news is Gill's work permit has been rejected. So that is a bit of a blow. I was really hoping he'd be our striker in Europe this season, but that's obviously not going to happen now. We'll have to try and send him back on loan somewhere else. Ideally not to the Czech League. I don't know why he won't get his work permit when all our other Czech players have. I don't understand why that is. He's a similar age, maybe slightly older, but yeah, I'm not really sure why that's happened. But anyway, we'll live and learn on that one, and we'll send him out on loan again, and hopefully he'll get it next season. Okay, we have another signing to unveil. It is Gary McCracken. I've been after this guy for a couple of seasons now since he first came onto my radar. He was released. He was at Celtic. He's been released by them. We have snapped him up a B-. You can see there by the fans. He signed as a breakthrough prospect, 2.6 grand a week, which is absolutely fine. You can see all the other ins and outs of the contract there. Let's have a look at him. He's an 18-year-old striker. And what I like about him, good dribbling, good finishing. He's also got flair as well as composure, decent off the ball. Physically, he's quite decent to good, and there is a lot of potential there as well. So he's left-footed. He can play on either side potentially as well. Though maybe is on the right side cutting in, there could actually be a very useful player there for us with the dribbling and the finishing as well. So, yeah, I think he could have a couple of uses for us. He hasn't played in the Celtic first team. He will play in our first team at some point this season. Of that, I am sure. So that is Gary McCracken. Let me know what you think of him. All right, we have another signing. It's a free transfer signing that we've made. Now, Jeffrey Atwell is his name. He's a 21-year-old midfielder. We've signed him. Well, he was on trial. And we've signed him permanently. I'll show you in just a second, obviously, but 1,800 a week as a breakthrough prospect. The fans like him, a B-. And if he can look at that potential, if he can see out that potential, then obviously he's going to be a very good player. We can see the other ins and outs of his contract there. But look at this guy. He is just a really good midfielder. 20 passing, 15 vision, 16 work rate, tackling sure could be a little bit better. He's not got the worst technique, good determination though, good first touch as well, an okay dribbler. I think he could be a star for us. I really, really do. And we've had a lot of bids coming in, particularly from Arsenal for Armstrong. Now, this guy obviously isn't as good as Armstrong, but if we were to lose him, I mean, you could have worse replacements, couldn't you? Now, he's been released by Manchester United, as you would expect. He's never played for them. He is unfortunately injured. He pulled a calf muscle playing in a friendly for us, but we'd already seen enough at that point to know that, yeah, this is someone that we want to sign. Now, as I said, he is 21. The one maybe concerning thing is that you have to scroll down his injury history here, but most of it is 2-3 days. There's not any serious injuries there. 3 weeks. Twisted ankles, that's sort of the injury that he's picked up here is essentially the worst one he's ever had. So I don't think there's too much to worry about there. But that is Jeffrey Atwell. Now, I did just want to sort of catch you up on the squad clean-out we've been doing. Of course, we've had quite a few players that have been leaving. Now, there's all the ends. We knew that a lot of those guys coming in, Lewis and Kidd, of course, who were signing at the end of their, after their loan, at the end of their contract to their parent club. Now, if we do, I've gone back one too far there. I've gone back a few too far there. Here we go. Okay, so players that have left for cash. I think I told you about Hodel. He went for 110. We also sold Stuart Owens, who I brought in basically to be a tutor or a mentor as it is now, and he just never really was useful. So he's gone off to Dunfermline for 20,000. Then if we go to the current season, I think I told you about Simpson. He's gone off to Hamilton. Enoch Trigger, that guy has gone off to Augsburg. The two, though, that I don't think I've caught you up on, Michael Diora has left to go to Port Vale. We just moved past him, so he went there for about 6 grand. And Francesco Battistella, he didn't get his work permit, so I figured let's just cash in on him. So we've done just that. He's gone off to AS Nancy, 50 grand, but we also have 50% of his next transfer. So he's going to be a good player. He's going to get some value, especially playing in the French league, I would imagine, or hope so anyway. So I'm hoping down the line we might pick up, anything up to maybe even more than £1 million for him if they do sell him on. So yeah, we've cashed in on him as well. All right, another signing, and this is not a player that I was expecting to sign, but Brian McManus, a 21-year-old striker. We signed him from Bristol City for 125 grand. Now, he was transfer listed there, and I'm not really sure why. Now, we signed as a fringe player, which is great because we've got too many strikers to play with our one-striker formation, to be honest. He's on 9 grand a week, which is a lot. You can see the rest of his ins and outs there, but again, we have the wage budget to be able to afford it. But look at this guy. There is a lot of potential still to be had there, but he's not the greatest out-and-out finisher. The composure's okay, but he's got good flair, decent off-the-ball movement, but good heading. He's good in the air. He's just a good all-round striker, and there is, as I said, room to improve. I'm not sure why he was transfer listed. 125 grand, I think it's an absolute steal. He was in League 2 last season, did really, really well. That was on loan, of course, as you can see there. But yeah, the scouts absolutely love him. and I've gone with them on this one, to be honest. So hopefully it's going to be 125 grand well spent, and hopefully we can find some playing time for him. Okay, we have yet another signing to announce, and this is very much one for the future that is a useful player now, but definitely one for the future. Franklin Ozioma, let's go with that. We've signed him from Sunderland, £600,000, potentially rising up if he pays 50 games for us. You can see he's signed as a breakthrough prospect, £1,200 a week. You can see the other deals of the contract there. There is a little bit of a increase in playing time as well that is there. But let's have a look at him. 17 years old and a promising midfielder. You can see already good passing, good technique. Teamwork is there, work rate. Vision, I mean, for a 17-year-old, he's not far away as it is. Dribbling as well. Technically, obviously, outside of those stats, there's a little bit of work to be done. Physically, you'd imagine will come along just fine as he develops. And mentally, yeah, like I say, he's already a very decent player. We'll be looking to use him more in a more advanced role like this. And if we have a look at how he's done for Sunderland, he's not played a game for him as of yet, but obviously he's only 17. What are they in the Championship, Sunderland? So you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be playing at that level. But we'll stick him down in our reserves. He'll get some good game time there, some good coaching there as well. And if he can get anywhere near this potential, we've got ourselves a very good central midfielder moving forward. Now, the one other thing to catch you up on very, very quickly is that Jacob Gill we have sent out on loan to Arminia Bielefeld. Now they are in the Bundesliga. We can see there for the new season. So that should mean, coming from the Bundesliga, that he'll get his work permit. So as soon as we can reapply for it, I don't think I can apply for it now. That'd be sneaky, wouldn't it? Just sending to the Bundesliga. I think I applied for it recently. Yeah. So anyway, we should get his work permit ready for Christmas. Look, Roy Hill, mate, I don't understand why you'd want to go to Huddersfield just because they met a release fee. You're my only right back, mate. Please don't do this to me. Yes, we can talk a new contract. What are you thinking? Mate, that's what Armstrong and Zayanetti are on. Yeah, but they're good, mate. They're good. Look, 1 second. I've got another call coming in. Hello? Oh, Kieran Monahan. Love to hear from you, mate. You are willing to come back on loan. That is excellent news and perfectly timed as well. All right, speak to you soon. Hi, Roy. Yeah. All right, mate, well, you can stick your contract and off to Huddersfield. All right, so we've had a little bit of drama. We were at game day of the opening Premiership game as well, so that brings to an end the summer transfer special. It's been a busy one. Sorry if the video's gone a little bit long. Hopefully I've been able to keep my rambling to a minimum, but we do have a little bit more action to catch you up on, and that is 2 more loan signings. Kieran Monahan, he is back again for this season. We had an issue where Roy Hill had a release fee in his contract, which I kind of knew was there, but also kind of forgot. It was 1.5 million. So Huddersfield met that, which put us in a problem because we don't really have any other first-team right-backs. Offered him a new contract to get rid of that thing. If we go and have a look at it here, actually. So this is his contract here. You can see there it is there, the 1.5 million. Offered him a new contract to try and get rid of that while he was negotiating with Huddersfield. He wanted the same, like 9 and almost 10 grand a week. Which I really didn't want to give him, but obviously we were a little bit desperate. But thankfully Monahan came in, so that's good. It meant we had a right back we could consider as good enough for Europe, which meant I could just get rid of Hill's contract. He ended up rejecting Huddersfield anyway, so it all worked out for the best. And the other signing we've got in on loan is Alexander Abbott. Now this is someone to cover at left back for us. We've got Ellis, of course. Another I really like Bristol City this summer, haven't we? But a C+ rated signing by the fans. You can see he's a very, very high potential guy. 9, almost 10 grand a week he is on, which is a lot of money for a backup left back, isn't it? But this is what we've got here. He's solid. He really, really is. Very good mentally, very good physically. Technically, he's fine. And, yeah, he's one of these guys that, you know, if it all works out, then perhaps, you know, we do look to keep him longer term. But I think he'll do well for us. If we had to play him in Europe, I don't know. I wouldn't have any problem doing it, to be honest. So that is that. Let's go and have a look at the team we have to start the season. Now, of course, window is still open, but obviously with season starting, it means that we have to bring this to an end. So strikers, we have a lot of strength in depth in strikers. We have Aaron McDade, of course, who is a superstar. We have Brian McManus, who I think is going to be a very, very useful player for us. Good worker. I just like him. I really, really do. McCracken, who I think could be an option for us in Europe. He has a lot of the sort of attributes we would want of a European striker. Picasso, I had a look to try and find someone better than him, and to be honest, I really struggled to find someone with finishing composure and all that kind of stuff at his level. So we'll go again with him, and of course Turpie as well, who will get plenty of game time, although he's really dropping off, isn't he, compared to the other players we have in the squad now. But hopefully he will... he gets goals, so it's fine. If we look at the number 10s, we have 3. We have Anthony Armstrong, who will always be the number 1 option as far as I'm concerned in that position. Napoleon, who can cover in there for us if we need him to. And, of course, one of the new boys, Jeffrey Atwell, who every time I just get more and more excited that we picked him up on a free. If we look on the left-hand side, we, of course, have the main 2, which is Martin McKay. Really, really happy and surprised to get him back for this season. And Dylan Lake, of course, is the other one. And we know that Armstrong can play there if we need him to. Over on the right-hand side, we have Brady. 30 goals he got for us last season. Let's hope he can keep that those numbers going. Kian Scully, who is also very, very good for us over there. Got the winner, of course, against Manchester United last season. And Gary McCracken can play over there, though he's left-footed, but we'd be looking to use him as an inverted winger in that sort of case. And again, I think he could do quite well for us out there. Now, if we drop back further into midfield here, and we will see that why we have him here twice. We will see. We have Armstrong, who can play back here, but typically won't. We have the new boy, the new Mounier. Now, Mounier went big money, over £10 million to Newcastle, I want to say it was. So that's why we didn't really have the option to get him back. But Rezniak, we brought him in thinking that that was going to be the case. So let's hope that he has a good season for us. Napoleon, we know he can play in deeper in midfield for us as well. Up Richard, who was brilliant last year. We need him to kind of make a step up this year, I think, if he's going to be a European player for us, but he's still only 18, so plenty of time for that. William McQuaid, of course, club captain yet again this season. He handles everything off the field for me. Any problems players have, I send him and he goes and solves that problem for me. One of the new guys, of course, as well, is Lutet. Yeah, just a good, strong mental player. He will just be a backup for the most part, but he's there if we need him. Atwell, who we've already seen, very, very good. Very excited for him. Miss Kelly. He is still, even with the, we saw the drop-off on potential for Turpie, Miss Kelly is still right there. He is, well, he could be anything for us, couldn't he? If we just get rid of that unambitious part of his personality. And, of course, Picasso can play deeper in midfield for us as well. We've also got that 17-year-old we signed from Sunderland and a few others that are down in the reserve. So we've got, but those are sort of more just the first-team players. If we go back to centre-backs, Ellis can play centre-back, but typically he'll be at left-back for us. Potoknik is an option, obviously. We also have Abbott, who is an option for us. But I think the main guys are all over this side for some reason. Tommy Martin, who is club vice-captain and a very good player indeed. Lewis, who signed on a free transfer permanently after his loan spell. Joe Kidd, who did the same thing. And we also have Tim Volga, who we signed this season for this summer for just under 700,000, I think, a promising centre-back. So hopefully he will come on nicely for us. Over at left back, well, Ellis is the main one. Potoknik's not really going to play there. Albar is still around. His contract's up the end of this year. I don't think we'll look to keep him, but it's no point trying to sell him for $6,000. And the other one, of course, is the man we just bought in, Alexander Abbott, to cover there for us. Over on the right-hand side, we have Roy Hill, who is, still on his $3,600 a week. That's what you get for being greedy, mate. If he'd asked for $5,000, I would have given it to him. He could have doubled his money and he would have got it. Kieran Monaghan is back again. A little bit of a surprise that Charlton have done that for us, but they have. And Burian is here. He is a youngster. We also have the youngster that came through our academy last season, a couple of others. I should show you the youth team, actually, even though this episode is going quite long, and again, I apologize for that. But let's have a look at the potential that we have here. This is, of course, one of the midfielders that we signed. Gilles is out on loan. We know that Scully is a first-team player that's down here for some reason. Ryan Weatherup, that's the kid that came through our academy, so he's an option. And also as youngsters that could step up, Joe McLean as a right winger, and Neil Sweeney as a central midfielder as well, though he's looking maybe like he's not going to quite make it. And of course, Boubacar Baji as well. He is learning to play right winger, but he's also a highly potential player down there in the reserves. So we have a good team, I think. Let me know how you think we're going to get on this season. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time as we get the season underway. It's going to be Crusaders and Ballina Millard. Not, I know, maybe the greatest games on paper. You can see how pre-season's gone there for us as well. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to have a look at everybody in the squad. So it will be a good opportunity at the start of the year to see everybody in action. and see exactly what we can do. So I'll see you then for a bit of a squad examination next time out. Take care.